Hello. Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? Are we ready for this? Let's get some music on. Acoustic. Some lo-fi. Hi everyone. Welcome in. Welcome Cass, who's staying up all night to watch Severance and join the live. Hi Randall. Hi Dave, everybody. We're just waiting on Hax is on his way to join. So hope everyone has a nice drink, a rosé. I think I'm gonna need it. Oh, Michael, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate that so much. First chat, let's go. So excited. What are we thinking for tonight, guys? I have had so many thoughts today. I've had shower thoughts. I've had all sorts of thoughts on this. So I am ready to talk. My face when Milchick tightens the leash on Drummond tonight. You know, you guys, I saw this thing on Instagram which had like a plane map. I should show you about where you would sit on the plane. It's like you have a 10-hour flight. Where are you sitting? Let's see if I can show you this because I want everyone's opinions. Oh, we got Hax in the room. Okay, I'm gonna add him on. But I want to show you guys this. Where are you sitting? And you know I'm sitting next to Mr. Milchick and Miss Wong, either 5 or 2. All right, let's get Hax in here.
Hey.
Hello. Hi, welcome.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. Can you guys hear him okay? Everyone say hi to Hax. Go sub if you haven't. I think my music's a little loud. I'm gonna turn it down. All right, how are you feeling? How's everyone feeling about this finale tonight?
I'm hopeful. I'm actually pretty hopeful.
Yeah.
To be honest, yeah, high hopes. I think that they're gonna finish strong.
Like you think there's gonna be a happy ending?
Oh, definitely. I also think that we might find out what's at the end of the rainbow, and we'll just everything decoded. Certainly.
All right. Are you pre-gaming properly? Do you have anything? Water, coffee?
I have some tea and a Red Bull.
A tea. Okay, cool. Well, hello everyone. Chime in with where you're coming in from. We got lots of thoughts, theories. A lot of thoughts on Helly wearing someone else's face, which is that's interesting to me. I haven't really thought about that at all.
That's a first for me as well.
Yeah, Cass, can you explain that a little bit? Where's the face wearing coming from?
Yeah, explain yourself. We need to know.
Hax, what's your number 1 prediction for tonight?
Number 1 is okay. I think it's either immortality is the end game. I think that we're going to learn what Gemma, the testing floor. I think we're going to learn what all of it's about. Cold Harbor. I think it's either immortality and / afterlife or severance as a service, where they just create a way to sever for everything.
Nice. I think you're the coiner of the term severance as a service. I love that.
It's so
I think you should trademark that. Cass says that Helly says it is in the hallway walking with the others in season 1. Is that when they're on the way to the perpetuity wing and she says she'll wear Mark's face to scare O&D. Okay.
Oh my God. If that comes back, if that's actually a part of like the mystery,
yeah. Now, do we think, I was thinking this today, hold on, let me get my reference. Hold on, I gotta put you back here. Sorry, 1 second. Let's see, there you are. Let me get my reference here. What was I gonna say? Do we think that death is literal or figurative for Gemma? Because I mean, we know that it'll be the end of something, but could it be erasing all of her memories? Could that be the final boss of Cold Harbor, where she's no longer her? And the thing that made me think about this today, I think it was Danielle, one of my Patreon family members, kind of went back to the when they're giving those atonement like prayers in the break room, when Milchick is making them repeat the same thing over and over again, and things start to crack and break through. Like Dylan can hear kids screaming, Helly can hear an old man mumbling, and we know that from Lexington letter, like things bleed through. So could Cold Harbor be a figurative death where they can actually like find full separation, memory erasure, the you are is completely gone forever? Or are you thinking she's dying?
I honestly, it could be completely figurative. I feel like if it's cooler if it's literal. Like I feel like it's cooler if it's literally her dying, and then she's not out of the game entirely, because like we have Mark and her memories and MDR. I think that like in terms of identity being reduced to an implant, that the actual Gemma dying, and also we need to learn how she's there in general, like how we went from her death via car crash to her being there. I think the cooler thing is a literal death. Literal death. And as a lot of people we've talked about, it is like an MA 15 plus rating, at least in Australia. So expecting to see some violence, perhaps like a proper macro dat uprising. That's what it's all about. We need to revolt. Honestly, I just listen. Mark knows where Gemma is. All right, why doesn't he go in and just start boxing people? Someone said, what happened to Hax's episode 9 video? It was out yesterday. Well, I hope it's still there.
Go watch. Is it gone?
Oh yeah, it's good. It's there.
Okay. Was it you?
Scare me. Oh my goodness.
Don't scare him like that. Was it you who said that this was a whipping boy? Was that you? Did I watch that in your video? Yeah. I love that. I was thinking about that all day today, about like the concept. Hax talked about this in this video of a whipping boy back in the day, that you'd have like a princeling or a regal person whose punishment would be transferred onto someone less regal, and they'd have to watch. And I saw it in your video, but then it blew my mind today of like, that's basically what the Innies are. Like they're the whipping boys.
Yep. I think that honestly, when I was going through that scene, it was like at the end of the video. I was actually like, the audio was recorded, and then I realized that they showed this. They showed right before this her swimming, and an emphasis on the clock and the amount of time. And I really was like, wait a second. We saw the workout stuff in the testing floor. This could be different Helenas that are, one is severed for the workout training, regimen and calisthenics that Gemma was doing, and then the next could be like what we were seeing could be the Helena that is tasked with being quiet and getting the brunt of like family trauma, where it's like, yeah, if you could sever every single time your dad starts lecturing you about your lifestyle or something.
If I could have severed as a teenager, that would have been great. All the lectures. Someone just said one interesting comment I wanted to read. Jason Smiley guy. I was thinking about this.
Hey.
He said, he's in your chats a lot. Why does management never acknowledge Mark S knows about Gemma? And I was thinking about this, like Helena, when it was Helena down there, was going with him to the goats and everything. So the fact that they're not a little more sus and they're kind of letting them still have their hall passes, like there's not really a big payoff with her knowing all of their plans, unless she didn't tell anybody what she learned from Mark. Do you think will we see some redemption from her? Is she playing things close to the vest? I think people are pretty split on that.
Yeah, it feels like the Helena being a spy thing didn't work out and just kind of failed there. I don't know like what information she would have got aside from like going after Gemma. But yeah, I guess we never see that be brought up in management. I guess we're meant to assume that it is, like they're all on the same team. Yeah. But I'll be honest, I really feel like Helena could be a double agent. Like I thought it was Milchick for the longest time, and then I still thought it was Milchick as like the new Helena in season 2 was introduced, and I just kept looking for reasons to kind of avoid that. Just because like she is, in some ways, she represents the enemy that like our protagonists face, but now we know that like, you know, Kier is a part, James is a part of the picture in a bigger way. Like it really could be that she is a double agent. There is trauma between, or trauma and other things between her and her father, and she is like absolutely working to undermine him. She could have that information and has done stuff with it, and we're waiting for that payoff. Like I kind of hope it's that, but who knows.
Yeah, I was of the mindset that there's no way she could be redeemed, because like she was so happy and smug about what was happening to Irving, unless she orchestrated him getting away. But I thinking about it now, was Helena like severed to get away from her dad? Like did she sever in a way? I know it's like for the greater good and for Lumen, a PR stunt, but maybe poor girl needed to get away from that creepy ass dad of hers.
Yeah, the take 'em raw dad.
Ugh,
honestly, imagine like your entire life your dad's just upset with you for not drinking raw eggs. What a life. What a life.
And it's just, imagine if that is your dad in general, like that situation in general. Brings up some interesting stuff about the revolving. Also,
what do you think that is?
What's that? The revolving?
The revolving, yeah.
Man, I'm pretty like torn on the revolving. I've heard Cass, who's in here now, talks a lot about it being like there's a water of life in the water tank, and he could like dip in and reset to keep. I mean, this man's hanging on by a thread. There's definitely something going on with him. Either he's like propped up as an actual puppet. I actually don't have any good theories, so I would love to hear yours, because I'm not going to bullshit.
No, I was going to steal whatever you said. No clue at all. It feels like, well, and also he moisturizes. He's taking good care of his skin for what I imagine is a very, very old man. The revolving. I don't know. I mean, I guess my first thought is about like Chikai Bardo and like the cycle, I guess. It could relate to that. Also, I think in like when I first talked about the revolving and going over season 1, just this idea of like a centrifuge machine that like separates you, or you know, aspects of yourself into different containers, like a big machine revolving around is like the essence, your entirety is like captured in, you know, where you are. But no clue. It could be anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I always go back to the quote from Kier about if you can balance the tempers in the cave of your own mind, then the world will be your appendage. So I do wonder if, whether through technology or not, they're still trying to achieve that space. Like even Drummond said to Helena, your tempers are almost recalibrated or something. So is there this goal to like balance your own tempers in your lifetime and see what you can achieve? I don't know.
I can see that.
What do you guys think? Let me check the chat really quick. We got Dylan, seems like he needs some treatment for adult ADHD. Yeah, definitely.
Amen, brother.
Grouch, the revolving will be nothing. They'll be all set up for the world to change and it'll just fizzle. It's nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, Jay Megan has been testing people on the floor like Gemma to see the extent of the chip and how many innies he can make. Okay, I was thinking about that. Are innies like Horcruxes? Like, do they fuck you up each time you make a new innie? Has Jay made innies before?
I like the idea that James isn't, we're seeing the James innie. Like, we've never even met the actual bad guy yet. Like, that's how far removed he is from reality or something. Like, that would be kind of crazy.
Is he staying on that other room in the testing floor that doesn't have a name on it, that's next to Gemma's room?
Oh, true. Honestly,
there's like that one door that she walks out of, and it doesn't have a file name.
Nope. I think I saw that in your video and totally missed that. Like, that wasn't even on my radar when I saw that. I was like, oh, who could be in that room?
Someone else has got to be there, whether it's the goats or what. Yeah. All right, let's check out some comments. We got a lot of good ones coming in. Seems like a lot of people are are torn on Devon. Jason Smiley Guy, Devon knows exactly one person who could possibly save her brother's life, and people are worried she isn't skeptical enough, so she must be a bad guy. It's a bonkers conclusion. Yeah, without calling it conclusion bonkers, I definitely don't think Gemma is a bad guy. And if she is, I will buy the people who think she's a bad guy a waffle, because I really don't think she is. Or sorry, Devon.
Okay,
Did I say Gemma?
Yeah.
Devon.
Yeah, I don't think she is. It would be a twist. There's this concept that like it all could be to make somebody suffer, as like the entirety of what we've seen so far is the cave of their mind. And in that regard, like I think there's a cool way to do that. But if it's not that high concept and it is just we're seeing brother or sister, trying their best, then I love Devon. I feel like the last few episodes have made me not like her character as much as I once did, simply because it is hard for me to suspend the disbelief that lactation fraudster, one moment believing that she stole your baby, to Ragabi being the only like a viable person in your life, and then throwing that away so that you can roll the dice on the person who just manipulated their way into your life. Like there's something there that I don't like. I feel like there's ways that they could wrap it up nicely, but yeah, I think Devon's trying her best.
Yeah, I am inclined to believe that. Devon obviously has seen the change in Ricken from the flashback to now. Why is she still with him if she is so anti-Lumen? I mean, I don't know. I think with marriage and a child, not that I have a child, but I think if you have a fresh baby in hand, you might not immediately leave your husband. But I do think there's going to be friction in between. Thank you to Fat Rodents for the donation. Let's have a cocktail. All right, who's having a cocktail? We got tea, coffee. I have some rosé. Yeah, but I don't know. I think the mystery on why Devon is with Ricken is something we will just never figure out. He's either got that money or something else. I
was thinking about it. If Devon is actually a bad guy, the house that they live in has puzzled me forever, and I always associate it to this idea that like Devon tells this, or Ricken tells the story about him like putting aside his wealth so that he can go live as like a beggar on the street or something like that, and how that changed him and his perspective. So it always seemed like he has family money. So it would be crazy to me that if it was actually Devon's money and it was like like she's taking money from Lumen in some kind of way. It's like a thought that has bounced around a couple times, but there's really nothing that makes me fully believe that. But it would be kind of crazy, like just because we do kind of associate her to being a mom, a sister, and in reality, if she was just this low-key crazy twist of a character, I think that could be pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Cass, I saw, brought up a good point, which is like, she had their father was kind of a drunkard, and Mark is a little bit unpredictable, and I do get like really big sister vibes from her. And I don't know, we don't know much about Ricken other than that both of his parents were performance artists, and we don't know if that is if they were successful or not. But they seem to have considerably more wealth than other people. The fact that she was able to go to that fancy birthing cabin, that seems like reserved for celebrities or politicians or really, really rich people. Thanks, Cracker Jack, for the donation. I want a drink too. Go get one. Maybe tea, maybe coffee. Okay, yes. So thank you guys for helping me refine my file of project Get 5,000 subs. I do have a bottle of champagne downstairs that I've been wanting to open for 5K, but I can't drink a whole bottle of champagne by myself. If I open that right now, I think I would probably be like on the floor by the end of Severance, but who knows? Depending on how emotional the finale is, I might need to pop that. Yeah, I got a bottle of champagne for my birthday 6 months ago, and I said I'll save it for 5K subs, and I just got the final file refinement.
Hey, that's awesome! Congratulations.
Thank you. All right, yeah, Frolic Tattoo is happening at 10K subs.
Hey, where are you getting it?
The jury's out on that. I definitely don't think I can get it on my hand. I mean, I already have some stupid tattoos on my hand, and I don't think I can destroy my reputation any further by having like a Frolic tattoo on my wrist. Where would you get it? Tramp stamp or what?
I'm doing, the tramp stamp. I mean, that I'm doing that now. That's the play. Yeah, that or a hand.
Play?
Yeah. That or a hand.
All right. Are you gonna live stream it for us?
Maybe. I don't know. I'll see if it's possible. I might do like something on Instagram. That could be fun.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Wow. Thank you, Ordal Chow, for the very kind donation. 6-pack for all. I love how all these donations are just buying alcohol. I know. Appreciate it, you guys.
I feel like I need to have a drink.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out if there is any alcohol in this house right now.
Thank you, MJ, for, oh my God, 333. That is my angel number, actually. So only one drink. Because you said so, I'll just stick to one. Hi, everyone who's just logging on. All right, let's get back to some theory talk. Tattoos are ugly, don't do it. Okay. Yeah, I definitely got a lot of tattoos when I was younger, and I regret some of them. What about Milchick? What do you think? I saw someone left a comment saying it was going to be Milchick versus Drumstick, which that could be the violence. That could be the like where all the violence is headed. What are you thinking Milchick is going to be up to this episode?
Oh man, I think that Milchick is. I think that we've seen him like have these moments where he's like cooling off, and he's done that a few times, like in the privacy of his own, self and us, and also he did the thing where he's like paper clipping over and over again. It seems like he is like truly a devout follower of Kier and is doing the work like when nobody else is looking. And that finally came to a point where he lashes out at Drummond, tells him to eat shit. I think that's. I don't know if that's going to continue. It feels like he's going to represent like the values of Kier in a really positive way, so that they can show that like it is positive overall. Like it can be done in a way that isn't like, leading to a CEO who has a James Girls. Like he could be someone who just truly follows the philosophy and believes it, and he could be the person that shows how it works. Maybe. Yeah. Also, just the idea of him and I don't know, him and Audi Irving getting into a fight or something would be crazy. Let's say maybe Irving comes back and is like, I fooled you. I was never on a train.
Yeah.
That's on y'all.
Yeah. One thing that I didn't figure out myself, but Cass brought to my attention was that I guess there's a clip or something, I think from the trailer, of Milchick wearing his shirt and tie, which was his like pre-manager outfit. So there's a thought, will he get demoted from doing that to Drummond? And will actually, because we haven't seen him in the shirt and tie like a la some of his season 1 garb. He's been in that kind of Cobell jacket and turtleneck. Yeah. So could that be a hint that he's demoted and kind of pushes back a little bit? He's had a lot of weird breaking points. So one thing, maybe you can help me out here. One thing I can't totally reconcile is, he's all about kindness reforms. It feels like he genuinely is giving things for the Innies that maybe other people, like even Miss Wong, wouldn't. But what do you think about him like basically torturing them in season 1 in the break room? Was he just like doing his job, or is the kindness reforms just to distinguish himself from Cobell, or does he actually have empathy inside of him?
I mean, in the idea that like the ends justify the means, like you could justify a many great number of things as long as it works out in the end. So like I think that he could fully believe that that was like a needed evil, or maybe not even acknowledge that it is evil, as he just sometimes the sheep need to be herded back together, right? I think that him having these kindness reforms, like when it was happening, it really seems like it could be an indicator that he was kind of working on the other side. Like he was being empathetic to the coworkers when nobody else was, and even like the higher ups have no idea why he implemented kindness reforms, as if kindness was like an expense that can't be paid. And yeah, I don't know. I really don't know where I see his character going. I feel like he's a good dude overall. Whatever it is, if he's like betraying somebody or has ulterior motives, I think he's in it for his own good, or for the good of Kier, really.
Yeah. Thank you, by the way, Michael, for the nice donation. We had a couple good Milkshake comments in here. The break room apologies are for scapegoats if they get caught doing things like the Dorner explosion from Lexington letter. But also Helly was in the break room as well in season 1. I think Milchick represents the average devoted manager times 1,000. He's just trying to run this floor. Lubin tells him that the only way to do that is to torture them in the break room. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. It was probably someone told him to do that. Someone as in like Harmony. Now it's, he may have been a Wintertide person as well. So you don't know like how much conditioning that he has and what that does to somebody. So even the fact if you've been raised in this cultish mindset, he might be from some rinky-dink town like Salt's Neck as well, and has this opportunity, and then they start giving him like blackface Kier paintings, and it's weird. And that starts to like make things weird for him, and he's driving around town with a motorcycle and pineapples, and then eventually he's like, what am I even doing? They don't even respect me and see me like on their level like this. So
what do you think of the blue eyes?
Go either way. Yeah, the blue eyes
right?
are super interesting.
Right?
I think people were mentioning this after the Salt's Neck episode, that Cobell and Hampton have blue eyes, that there's like a blue-eyed theme going on. Devon has blue eyes. And is that like a special gene? Is that like, I don't know, are they trying to do something there?
It feels like there is this like Nazi inspiration, eugenic, like it feels like Lumen could be like the writers could be using some stuff from history to create this big bad. And I think that like, the Blue Eyes as like a wealthy organization has like this hold on the world, and also planning for world appendaging. I feel like that could go together, but I also feel like Helly doesn't have blue eyes, right? No,
they're like hazel.
Yeah,
they're definitely not blue.
Yeah, and so like when I was thinking about the blue eyes, it felt like it was an ether thing. Like the ether was changing their bodies. Like it's like a side effect of it or something. Like and maybe the blue eyes is actually showing, showing a bad thing, where it's like the people that are still not taming their tempers or something, or like a previous generation, or I don't know.
Yeah, interesting. There's definitely something there. I feel like the painting him with the blue eyes was interesting, because they gave him like the same skin color that he has or they gave Kier the same skin color as Milkshake, but they didn't do it all in his likeness, because Milkshake has brown eyes, and it felt like that was this like holy, like that's what makes you the god Kier, these like pure blue eyes. Or maybe it's Toby Wan Kanoji says maybe they just really like Dune and the spice melange.
Amen, brother.
Dr. Maurer also has blue eyes. And then there's the whole incest of Kier's parents with blue eyes. I know you guys chat about this subject a lot over there on your lives. So there's that whole situation. The Nazi scientist angle, the machines in German. Helena doesn't have blue eyes. She has hazel eyes, I guess we could see. Yeah, hazel-ish eyes.
Yeah, I can't. I really feel like it's important. It kind of feels like a passing of a guard, like because her father has blue eyes, right?
I think, does Jabe, I don't know, he just looks like a fucking creep all the time. Let me pull up another picture of him.
Enhance.
Yeah. Let's see. Or even the actor, I feel like that might be, I mean, his eyes look like black. Like they look like, I don't know, they look soulless.
Yeah, they do. Oh my goodness.
Well, thank you, Mel, for the donation. Thank you, Voice Inject. Did you notice the words printed at the top of the baby crib? I did not notice that on my own, but someone, I had to get that from the world, like Reddit. That was Cold Harbor was, I guess, printed right here on that.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah. Okay. Cold Harbor was printed on the crib box. I think you have to kind of, it's like right here. I don't know if it's cropped properly.
Oh my, what?
Yeah, so that's that. Hey, Jim, thank you for the kind donation. Welcome in. Hacks Jim is on your lives, he's on my lives, and he has great theories that he posts on my Patreon. So he is like the theory king. Thank you for that kind donation.
Let's go, Jim.
Yeah, we don't have everything figured out. It seems like you have a lot more figured out than we do. We're still trying to figure things out.
Yeah, I'm just making stuff up.
I feel like you're really good at zooming in on those like small details, like the clock ticking not matching up, and some of the shots, and approaching it from a very artistic lens.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Like that stuff goes way over my head. So shout out to all the 265 people we have on here. That's awesome. How are you feeling? We got official 45 minutes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, blue-eyed devil, bad guys. What color eyes do you have, Hacks?
I have a like bluish green.
Okay.
They're lighter.
So are you evil?
Yep, that's me.
Where do you fall on the whole goat thing? I feel like there's a lot of people who are like, if the goat thing is not solved, then I will start an uprising. And there are other people that are like, I don't really care. It's fine. Where do you fall on that debate?
Okay, so I need to not think about goats anymore. However, if we never learn, like if the entire show ends and we never learn, that might be the funniest thing. That really might be the funniest thing they could do. And like, it is a comedy at the end of the day. And, just the ultimate red herring just in our face the entire time. There's something there. But I also feel like most people wouldn't find it that funny.
Yeah. There was a Levi, I don't know if you're on here. He had such a great theory of like the goat people are actually homeless people. Because like they, like your Innie excels at stargazing, like you live outside. But I saw this Instagram post that was this guy who was like, yeah, I come home smelling like goat shit all day. I think I know what I do down there. And it would kind of be funny if they just took these like really weird people who have maybe like flunked out of the workforce or are just a little bit odd or off. And they're like, all right, you just get this goat job just for fun. Like, we just kind of want to see what happens. What do you guys think? Would you, what were you going to say?
I was like, it's a funny thing we do sometimes. Like, we just get homeless people and we make them like sever and then, play with goats all day. Like, there's no rhyme or reason. We just like funny things.
Yeah, I could see them kind of taking the piss on that. Also, thank you, Randall. Welcome for the super sticker, the donation. Thank you, guys. The scapegoat. Yes, I definitely think there's potentially the scapegoat idea of filtering out the unpleasant things and putting them in a goat. that could happen. That's like kind of one of the wilder theories that I don't think there has been like as much like evidence for, but I'll never say never.
I like the idea that it's the story of Jesus Christ taking our sins from us, but we just put them in goats. It's just about the sacrificial lamb.
Wow, that is like that is the whole Kier will take away all your pain situation.
Oh,
yeah, a cure for all mankind. I'll take away your sins. I'll take away your pain. Maybe, honestly, maybe they have realized on some level that putting the Innies through this like hell is bad, and they want to just refine out all the bad tempers and put it in a goat. Because even if you could sell Severance as a service, it's still kind of like, I don't know if you've ever read the short story, The Ones Who Walk Away from Omelas by Ursula Le Guin, where it's basically like, it's this idea that you can live in a utopia, but there's like a child being tortured like at all times.
Oh my God.
And like, at one point you learn and you can choose to walk away from the society, this perfect society, or live in it. And it's the idea that like a child somewhere is just being tortured at all times, 24/7. And I do see similarities between that and this of like, you live a great life, but you have an innie that is tortured. Like someone's life is just giving birth, like the pain of childbirth. So that there is like a very sinister connotation to Kier will take away all your pain.
I really feel like that line was the one that made me really start thinking that it could be about, because they talk about suffering being like the ultimate bad thing or something, or what am I thinking of? There's another line that like ultimately just made me view this as them trying to create a way to literally make you never have to deal with your emotions or something. Like, you know, you're sad and then it just boom, sever. And then another version of you is like taking the sadness or going through the moment that would be making you sad in the future. Dealing with like every possible way that you could suffer, and that as such you have no ability to have pain in some high concept way. And you could sell that and the whole world would go, yeah, like I don't want to feel bad, so let's just get rid of that, right? But at the same time, like you got to be cut to heal, like you got it to appreciate
we must
who
be
you
cut
are.
to heal.
To appreciate who you are and who you're with, you gotta go through some shit.
Absolutely. And I feel like it's interesting because Cass has talked about this a lot. We've talked about this a lot on Patreon about there being kind of like the new era of Kier and the old era, and like how OG Kier is like, we must be cut to heal. You must go into the cave of your own mind and balance your own tempers. And then new Egan is like, we'll just sever you. You don't have to work hard. Because even like Kier could not have conceptualized of Severance. It was so long ago. But he spoke a lot about work and industry and like the pride that you take in your work. And now Severance comes along through James and people don't even remember that they work. And so I do really see that divide of like, maybe we can just sever out all of our pain, all of our work. And that is like that grand divide of what Kier actually had envisioned for people.
And I think with that, like Bert has a line where it's like, I'm more of a first edition guy. I think absolutely there is some divide between the philosophy now that exists across the culture of the workplace culture and what he originally intended. I also think that there's a possibility that like every Egan CEO had just the ability to influence that in some kind of way, and it has just been bastardized over the years. And now James, I think James also has some fear of his own daughter, in the sense of she will be the person remembering him when he is gone, and whatever his revolving is and whatever that means, she will ultimately be the person who is telling his story. And whether that is truly recreation of a person or immortality or something like that, I think that she's going to have a great deal of power, and he knows that, and he doesn't want to be the black sheep of the family or something to that effect.
Ooh, totally.
If it is going to the immortality kind of thing, and Helena realized that early on, her possible double crossing could be because she recognized early on that immortality with Severance or something of that effect is going to come out while my father, who I do not like, is the CEO, and then he's going to live forever, and I'll never have any kind of ability to run my own company and have like my birthright as the next in line. And so maybe that's where some of that could be coming from. But again, that's just theories.
Honestly, I mean, that's why she's like, I'm like the head of the company, Mark. And I kind of wonder if she's like, all right, this motherfucker is going to be around for the rest of my life telling me to eat my breakfast raw. Like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
And if there is this immortality or fountain of youth angle, then she's like, they're never going to let me be in charge. Maybe because I'm severed, maybe because of something else.
And she's like, like just the need to announce that you run the company just feels so like weak. It's like she has
anytime you say I'm like a really big deal. I'm like really wealthy.
I don't want to talk about it, but like, come on.
All right, James, thanks for the donation. Love the collab. 2 characters most likely to die. I'll let my guests go first. Hax, who do you say?
I say Mark dies.
Mark dies?
I say Mark dies, and I say let's do a weird one. Let's say Gretchen.
Gretchen, okay.
Yeah.
Now, if there is a bloodbath or some sort of uprising at Lumen, I'm wondering if she'll get the call, because she is 911. So for me, most likely to die, I do think Gemma is most likely to die, because I really could see Gemma dying today, and then Mark and Helena, who's been redeemed, team up to take down the company and like get in with that full like network of people with Irving and co. Other person, I do hope we get one evil person dying. I would love for Mauer to die, or maybe Drummond. One of those people have got to go. Yeah.
The weird doctor, his character is just so strange. Like, we know that he just falls in love with Gemma. It's never properly given more than that, but we know that it's happening, so it doesn't really need more than that. And he is just like this kind of, honestly, there is some weird agency there where he could undermine the company to get what he wants, as he's like fallen in love. And then Drummond is like, for Kier, we have to get rid of her, whatever he says. I feel like he could be like actually a person who saves that version of Gemma, because he is like willing to sacrifice for that actual relationship that he feels, because I'm assuming that he was with her in every version that she was. And spending that amount of time with a person, I think, I mean, how do you not, right? Like, he's just down there. I can't imagine he's like doing much else other than knowing this person that intimately.
And I'm sure he's kind of convinced himself, like, no, dude, she likes me. She likes me. She loves
me. She looked at me one time and blinked. I felt it, dude.
Yeah, I feel like he's definitely convinced himself, and there is this weird like reverse Stockholm syndrome, I guess, when you are the captor. And the way he views her and can get her in all these different circumstances. I had thought that previously that maybe he would help them get out and maybe help her, like stop her from going into the room. But then last episode, he was very obsessed with the numbers moving. So I don't know if her cracking him on the head kind of shattered that illusion for him or what.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we might not see him at all. Truly. Yeah.
So one interesting thing that I still have this comment up here from Randall, what Cobell said about hell doesn't exist, but humans can create it. I want to hear where Cobell is coming from. What hell exactly hath man wrought? And I realized, like, she gives my mother was a Catholic quote on the outside when she's Mrs. Selvig. She says it was like Mark tells her that he's tired, and she says, my mother was a Catholic. She used to say it takes the saints 8 hours to bless a sleeping child. I hope you aren't rushing the saints, so just kind of like go to bed. But then on the severed floor, she said, my mother was an atheist. She used to say that there was good news and bad news about hell. The good news is just the product of morbid human imagination. The bad news is whatever humans can imagine, they can usually create. And I don't know, I thought that was very apropos. I've always wondered, like, what's with the Catholic atheist thing? And it's like, can your faith and view of the world change on whether you're on the outside or the inside? Like, is the inside, is the testing floor truly hell? It feels like it.
I really feel like they're creating an afterlife, like especially at the end of season 1. I remember, I forget exactly what episode it was, but there was one moment where like enough had happened where I was just fully convinced. Like episode 1, there, you know, Helly is like, am I in hell? And he's like, no. And then just all these themes of some kind of afterlife start popping up, and being trapped, and just this idea of like different layers of hell. It feels like it's not hell. It feels like they are creating hell. But in the aspect of like in afterlife that is just defined by man would be hell. And I think that that's what it is. Like, yeah, and I really get that idea. I think we talked about this last live of Greek mythology and how like in the Greek gods couldn't die, so their eternal damnation was just repeating the same task over and over again. Like what's the guy who gave fire? Why am I drawing a blank? Who's the god that gave man fire? No, it's Prometheus. So Prometheus gave man fire, and his eternal damnation was to just be strung up on a rock, and every day a bird came and ate out his liver. And that was his. And so in a way, like I am seeing that parallel between Gemma and these people of like, if every day you go in and fly on a plane you think is going to crash, and that kind of like mental dread as well as like the physical discomfort. All right, we got to thank some people. Thank you, Troll Mama, for the nice donation. We'll be subbing to HAXDOGMA now. Love the collaboration. The hair, thank you. And Mr. Vaca, wow, so generous. Thank you. What's for dinner? Happy Severance finale day. Loving this community. Best Severance channel here on YouTube, and loving these Thursday night hangs. Yes, and we're not getting rid of them anytime soon. You are so kind, and we'll be rewatching season 1 together after this. We're going to keep it up because I'm going to go through withdrawals from you guys if I don't keep it up. Oh, heck yeah.
What is for dinner, by the way, Hax? What's for dinner on... You're in Texas, right? You're a couple hours ahead Central Time?
I have no plans for dinner right now. I'm gonna eat a bag of Fritos.
Healthy.
and some toasted bread. I'm just kidding.
Yum. Are you gonna put the Fritos on the bread and like roll it up into a Frito taco?
That could be a thing. Yeah. I'll get back to you on that. We'll see.
All right. Don't forget your raw eggs. Who else? What else is for dinner? We have meatloaf, waffles, carved watermelon. Normally I do Chipotle nights on Severance nights, but I didn't have time to go get it. So, Richard, yes, I showed my sister. My sister was on our live last week, and I showed her the first episode of Severance, and she really likes it. She thinks it's a little scary, but she was sharp. Like right away when she saw the businessman, she's like, "That's Petey. That's got to be Petey, right?" And she was like, "Why didn't Petey go to Irving? Why did he go to Mark? Irving seems like he has his shit together more." So she's like very perceptive. So I think my sister, Miscellaneous Grace, will be a new Severance convert. So very excited to see where the journey goes.
Why didn't he go to Irving?
Yeah, I mean, was Irving his best friend or what? He's like, "We're good friends. I'm not your best friend." And a lot of people said I was saying that too seriously, but I mean, this is definitely a show where things mean things. It seems like it is an out-of-pocket comment to say to somebody that you're trying to get to trust you, right? Like, right.
Yeah, I don't know. I never understood that line. It does seem like it could be it. No, it probably couldn't have been Irving, but I do think that like Irving has a significant amount of information and is up to something in some way that we still need to understand.
Yeah.
So maybe Petey knew that in some way, but I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, we just got a word from John saying Dan Erickson said it was a joke. Mark was his best friend. I mean, yeah, maybe Petey was just a jokester. I do miss Petey as well. I feel really bad for Petey. Poor Petey.
Poor Petey.
Do you think Helly's going to the testing floor this episode? She's got to, right?
Is Helly going to the testing floor?
Yeah.
I don't know.
She has the map.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, honestly, I forgot that she was doing that. The idea that her dad just popped up on that floor is the only thing that is happening in her story in my mind right now. I don't think she's getting to the
yeah, that kind
floor.
of threw a loop. No.
Yeah, I think she. Well, I mean, maybe she goes to the second room. Maybe that's her punishment for whatever you betrayed me or you tricked me meant. Like that room is destined for her, and there's nobody in it now, but that's where she's going to be. Maybe.
I would love to see Helly v. Mr. Mauer. Like, I feel like Gemma is still rather demure. I mean, she definitely has some fight in her, but I feel like Helly, there's nothing like Helly's little Spitfire attitude.
Yeah. Do you think every version of Helena would have that same attitude?
I think so, honestly. I think I was rewatching season 1 with my sister, and when Helly wakes up on the table and freaks like the fuck out, and even you see shots of Cobell and Milchick being like, this is not normal, this isn't like what normally happens. Normally people wake up and they're very docile. Yeah. I do think either that rebellion is in her or that privilege, even that privilege is in her of like, tell me, I need to know like what is going on. And like, even she very much lacks empathy in the way she like chucks that thing at Mark's head, dude. And then still like sits down and is like, tell me who you are, as he's bleeding out. And I was thinking like, even if you're freaked out, I get it. But yeah, I feel like this is just her in every life and every shade. And this is the truest version of her that has maybe been stamped out on the outside a bit.
Yeah, I can see that. I wonder if like every severed version of yourself would have like the same fight or flight response, you know, like if there is differences, or if there is just like certain core blocks of an individual that would transcend severance.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe Irving was calling Petey's daughter. Yeah, could be. I kind of want to know what's up with the resistance. We've had a little mention of them from Bert this season, and
that's about it though, right?
Yeah. Also, shout out to over 300 viewers. This is, I think, my highest ever. All because of you, Hax. Thanks for being a part of this.
I'm glad to be a part of it, but yeah. That's good stuff.
One other thing, let's see, what else did I want to... Okay, so we kind of talked about this, about Gemma's death, and if it was going to be figurative or literal, and you were saying literal, and we do think if there is going to be blood, if it's going to be violent, it might be literal, and I'm definitely of the mind that it's probably literal. But what do we think like ego death comes into all of this? Because I feel like the cards and the ego death, like that has to mean something, right? And that ego death, I feel like, is what Kier described in balancing the tempers. But I don't know. Do you think that could be what they're going for? Like complete detachment from the self, just like consciousness floating in the vacuum?
It could be. I also think that like if you were doing that in the story, then it would kind of reshape how the Innies operate, because each Innie kind of associates some kind of identity to themselves. And so like an ego death for one wouldn't necessarily be an ego death for another. But if you, I don't know, I think that there is something cool. There might be a way to like, I'm not sure. Yeah. I want to sit and think on that one.
Yeah, we got Mr. Vaca with a happy ending. I think Mark and Gemma will both die and be happy in the afterlife together.
Hey, there we go.
That reminds me of the end of one of my favorite sci-fi series, which I can't even name because then you'll know what happens. But if anyone's a fan of Brandon Sanderson, it's one of his series. But anyway, I think like I would love for there to be a happy ending. Like selfishly, I miss the days where everyone was just like frolicking around, playing on their computers. But I have a very sinister feeling that something very bad will happen this episode. But you're thinking maybe a happy ending, Hax, right? You're holding out.
Yes. Yeah. The world is good. Evil people don't exist. All butterflies, rainbows, sunshine, and Cold Harbor is probably just conceptually like a little chilly breeze on a summer day. I think truly, I think they will die. Like Gemma and or Mark. But I think that it is just step one. I really, really believe in this immortality take. I think that they have done such a good job of showing how like Mark knows Gemma so intimately, all the way back to season 1 when he's just like reciting facts about her as he puts the pieces of the picture that he just tore apart because he cannot ever get over that woman back together. And I think that he intimately knows her to the point where if like maybe MDR is just refining her and bringing her back. And so I think they die. I think maybe the cliffhanger that is going to be the end of this season is going to be that they die, and then right at the end, their eyes open again or something. Like that's like, ooh, okay.
Yeah. Because I feel like there can't be any exact happy endings, right? Even if everybody lives, Mark still has Innie Mark is in love with Helly and Outie Mark is in love with Gemma, and that's like a conflict in its own. Milchick said there's no death on the severed floor. Yeah, I think this is such an interesting thought because no death on the severed floor, Lumen keeps you safe, he said all those things, but then also very weird that they had a bereavement kit ready for any Innie, and they only use bereavement kits when they die on the severed floor.
I'd never put those pieces together.
Oh, that really?
Are
we blowing your mind?
I never had that conscious thought, but you're so right. Why do they have a bereavement kit?
Well, they do. They had all the rows. Like they used only the Irving cups, and he said to Miss Wong, or she said, "Isn't it just for Innies who die on the severed floor?" But they had a Helly cup, they had a Mark cup, they had everything ready to go. So
I really do think like it is conceptually no death. Like Raspberry says it's just they transfer consciousness to the next body. I really do think it's that. I think that through the interpersonal relationships that we can have with each other, we intimately learn each other, and through that we can keep each other alive. Because I think that's like the death of Ivan Ilyich just does such a great job of showing how if you focus solely on the workplace and solely on the superficial and like advancing your status, and then disregard the emotional and the people around you and love and what it means to be human, then you're going to have a bad life. And applying that same story now, I think that like in this setting, I really think that it's going to be the moral of it is that knowing each other intimately and being attentive and loving is how you survive forever, how you have no death on the severed floor.
Love transcending severance. Yeah, absolutely. By the way, thank you, Mel, for the donation. Do you think Gemma will hang in there? I sure hope so. I mean, I feel like Gemma was hidden from us for so long, and then we finally got to know her. We saw that she seems to be a wonderful person who's been through some tragic circumstances, and obviously I would love it if she hung in there, but I don't know.
I really, I think one of the comments said that the season is going to end, Mark dies, and then it's going to start with Gemma as the refiner or something.
Ooh,
and I love that. I think that's a great idea.
I'm trying to find that one.
It was like 30 minutes ago. It was a while.
Oh, okay. I must have missed that. If you said that, let me know. We want to give you credit. Yeah. Wow. That would be so crazy and
cool
just
thought.
like very unsettling and weird. And then maybe her memory is that like her husband died in a car crash or something.
Oh.
I don't know. Yeah.
I think the real severance is the friends we made along the way. I agree, Brendan.
Yes, Brennan, we've made so many friends. I like how someone in here, Ortbo Lover, changed their name to Ortbo Lover. I really like that. I would love it if James is toast. Yeah, Cass, I agree. Love transcends severance. We like to hope so.
Also,
we like to hope so.
Brian, I see your comment about Rehoboam. No, don't worry. All right, they'll do it better. It's gonna be okay. Never again.
I never finished Westworld. I need to go back and watch it with all your reviews. I watched like season 1 and it was crazy, and then I don't know what happened. I think I like went abroad and didn't have HBO or something.
I will always have a solid place for Westworld in my heart. Like all seasons were good seasons, but like it was truly one of the best TV shows being made at that time. But season 1 is just far and above the best first season of television of I think any television show.
Yeah.
It is that. Oh, Anthony Hopkins does such a good job. So incredibly good. Yeah.
We won't get into Westworld too much, but I remember sobbing at the reveal. I won't say what in case there's someone, but of who the guy was. And there's something about like love lost and time passing. And I think that's why I cried in my like episode 9 review about Irving. It's just like that theme played out of lost love is it just gets me every time and I cry. Ortbo Lover, yes, loved the Ortbo, obviously. So Chris Bazeski, I don't know if you're in here, but he shared on Patreon today that he got an Ortbo license plate, like a custom license plate that says Ortbo on it. And that is dedication. So shout out to Chris if you're in here.
Ortbo is such a good license plate too. Oh man.
Yeah. Oh, he's here. Yeah. That's it looks so good too. It's just Ortbo. And it obviously doesn't take up the whole license plate. And I feel like you're gonna find your people, Chris. And I don't know, Hax, is that how you feel about the frolic tattoo? Like that'll help you just identify your people right away.
See, that's for me, that's what it's all about. I want to be at a bar and somebody see me grab a drink and then they go, oh my God, Severance. And then for a moment, we just like look at each other and like mouth ajar, just like, I love Severance. Let's talk about it. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
I see you passing over your card for the drink at the bar with the frolic, and then bartender looks at you. He's like, "Drinks on me."
Oh,
like, keep it real.
Yeah.
Chills. That's how people are gonna find love in this new world. Yes. Everyone who's sick of dating apps. If I saw someone with a frolic tattoo on their hand, I'd run. Well, hey, Dylan is gonna come save the day. I would love that, but I actually think he might not be in this episode at all. I don't know.
I'm sorry, Dylan. I was laughing at Jason just being Jason. You said Dylan's not
Hacks with a crop top, frolic. We gotta read this. Hacks with a crop top, tramp stamp hanging out above his thong, whale tail. Yes.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I think we need a picture of that.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Will Dylan save the day? I think that's an interesting thought. I think Dylan's in that Romeo and Juliet position where he's like, if I can't have my love, I don't want to live. So I think he's dangerous and could do anything. We've already seen, just knowing he has a kid, like he attacked and bit Milchick. So I don't know. But I don't think he's going to be in this episode. What do you think, Hax?
I don't think he's going to be in the episode. I'm not sure at least I don't think any Dylan is going to be in the episode. I guess I also wouldn't know what Outie Dylan would be doing in the episode, but the resignation thing, I guess, needs to be resolved. Maybe in this episode, but yeah.
Like it felt rather final, him going into the elevator, but I think normal Outie Dylan would not approve of the resignation request because he needs money, but you wonder if he's also reached like a fuck it point as well seeing like his own wife is going for a different version to him. I don't know. Maybe he goes to the gym and like works on himself. I don't know. After all that. Yeah, therapy would be a good start for sure. What else do I have in here? We talked about the goats. I think we talked about racing memory. Yeah. Dylan will be brought back with a pineapple. What were you gonna say?
Have you so like in a couple videos ago I talked about these like inverted frames where they're just like flipping like her nose in this picture is like slanted to the left from my perspective. And in this exact sequence, like right before it, we see a similar shot where she's looking at the camera and it's slightly to the right. It's as if like her face had been flopped and at one point or like applied like a horizontal flip in Premiere Pro. And it really felt like they could be doing some kind of graphical thing to show like you're seeing it like you're seeing a reflection of the world, like you're looking in a mirror kind of thing.
Yeah.
But honestly, they haven't really focused on that as much as I thought they would have if they were building to that reveal. But yeah, like seeing this frame here, you know, I don't know. Do you have thoughts about that, or has heard anybody else really bring that up? You know,
yeah, I haven't heard anybody talk about that at all.
It could be nothing at all. Like it could truly just be that in the shot, or like for the creation of the show, they needed to do that or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And I'm wondering, even just looking at this shot again, I was trying to look back at like, what was that shirt that she was wearing when she left Mark for the last night? Because this really looks like this sweater here really looks like, I mean, she looks kind of beat up, right? She has like a bit of a bruise. Her hair is all messed up. And I'm trying to screenshot this picture of her. It looks like she's wearing a similar cut of the shirt, but it doesn't look light purple like that. But it could be just like a cardigan or something that that goes over. So I don't know. But I don't know, maybe this was post car crash Gemma, if car crash happened. I think your inversion theory is super interesting. I haven't thought about it at all, but this does look like a flip with her nose, or her nose was broken. I don't know.
Yeah. And like, I think this is probably the best picture to showcase it. Because you look at, I think, any other image of Gemma here, and it's not this. I also think that the purple is interesting, like the because we see the purple floor and like colors, red, green and blue, they all mean different things, but her being purple or wearing a purple thing is maybe giving us more information, but I'm just not sure what that is.
Yeah, absolutely. Quick thank yous. Thank you to James for the donation. Read Mannequin Theory. Was Gemma always an innie, or is the reference just an analogy? Seems like a lot based on Cobell's coded chat and an episode title. Yeah, I think this is super interesting. So I talked about this in my theory video about, what if Hannah is the real outie Gemma, who Gemma is another outie, or another innie, and like Hannah was the original Gemma, and even the Gemma who met Mark was an innie. I think, Cass brought up a good point, which is like that would just kind of reduce her to being this like tool for Mark, and we think she's more important than that, and that would kind of not do her justice. But I do think all the Twilight Zone like connection is very interesting and worth talking about. Do you have any thoughts on that? Like, do you think she's always been an innie, or Gemma herself is an innie version of someone else, like Hannah?
I really don't know. I think that's I'm not sure. I don't know. Like the Hannah came from Helena saying Hannah's name, right? During the
like how's Hannah was your wife who died. Yeah.
Honestly, I really did not read much into that when that happened. It just felt like Helena wanted to be a jerk. Like, it just felt like she knew that she was a powerful person and could say anything, included like just this backhand insult to his face, and does so and then walks away. Yeah,
that was originally my take. I thought some of the mannequin theory was interesting. I still think they might have innies out there as outies. They just might not be Gemma. It might be like Rebecca or someone. Ricken
I
and
really think,
Rebecca.
yeah, I really think that that there is some like Severance 2.0 thing coming out, and like that is going to be a big part of this episode or the future going into season 3. And I really think that it relates to like entire geographical locations where, you know, it's no longer just a building. It is the ability to sever an entire town. It is like elevators moving on vertical tracks, trains moving on horizontal tracks, and now Irving leaves. He's out and pushed out by someone who cares about him right before this big thing is about to happen. It feels like the entire town at some point, even just conceptually, could be run, like literally programmed by Kier, as opposed to just they own everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think whatever they're testing with Gemma, I like thought about Severance as a service, but not even needing like location dependent severance. It's just feeling dependent severance. Could you get severed just by feeling a certain way and your innie takes over or something? And that's like how they get a chip in everyone's brain.
It could be, yeah.
Thank you to Dolores Abernathy for the donation.
Hey.
She also asked tattoo for 5K. I said tattoo for 10K. 5K is me drinking my champagne. I'll get the tattoo for 10K. So tell your friends. 10K subs and I get a tattoo.
Let's go.
Also, thank you to Mel Isabella. A lot of things are reversed on the testing floor. It's not a grouter, it's a degrouter. Dream sweet. Interesting. Yeah. I don't even know what a grouter or degrouter is. I guess like in between
like tiles or like in your like bathroom floor, like the grout in between tiles. Yeah,
like an automatic thing that scrubs it out. Yeah. Hello to Flack. Hello to everyone. I just saw hi Flack. Hi, Flack. We have 6 minutes left. How are we feeling? Where's the time gone? We have had 300 almost 330 people in here. It's been so fun. Maybe we end on some just final rapid fire thoughts of what we expect to see in the finale. So I'm going to ask all you guys to comment like top 5 or 5 things you think are going to happen, and then I'm going to put Hax on the spot here. 5 things that you think will happen in this finale in 5 minutes.
I think everybody dies.
I think everybody dies. That's at least 5 words.
Let me see. Are we waiting for some comments to roll in, or do you want me to rapid fire?
I think you should just fire off. Okay. Yeah, I think you should just fire off while people.
Let's see. Let's do. Okay. Mark dies.
Okay.
Miss Cobell double crosses.
Okay.
Dylan, in some crazy way, also saves the day.
Okay.
James Egan is an innie.
Okay.
And I'm going for the crazy ones. I'm going for the if this happens, it's a clip. That's what I'm going for. Yeah. Okay. And then Irving comes back and Irving comes back with like the U.S. military.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. Those are great. Boom. Mic drop. Also, I want to thank these donations, but Rock Road said Devon's daughter is actually Kier Egan, which that cracks me the fuck up. That is so funny. That is just so funny to me.
Oh my God.
But quickly, thank you, Cracker Jack. Agree with the post. These 2 channels, we need to collab more. I don't know what that means, but yes, we need to collab more. Thank you, Michael. Gemma will be alive and out by the end of episode, but Mark may not be alive or maybe trapped at Lumen. Could be. Someone could be trapped. Bo Dierker, thank you for we learned what the Cold Harbor is. Cold Harbor, yes, that is definitely going to happen. I think my 5 are Cobell double crosses, Helena gets redeemed. I think Brienne of Goat Cass came up with that term, but Brienne of Goat is gonna like fuck someone up. Like they didn't pick Gwendolyn Christie for nothing. Like
right.
I feel like she's gonna be with those hatchets from O&D, just like doing some Brienne of Tarth type shit. So that's my crazy theory for the finale. I think that, I don't know, maybe Jane Egan will die. That would be cool. And Mauer will die and Gemma will die. I don't know. Thank you for the donation, Super Robbie. Will either of you be doing an after show, Hax?
Yes, I will be doing an after show.
After show.
I am going to watch the episode, process for a little bit, and probably about 30 minutes after the episode ends, I will be going live.
All right. You heard it here, team. We'll have a lot to talk about after this finale. Oh, yeah. Well, it looks like we have 2 minutes left. So really thank you to everyone who came out, who donated. Biggest show out so far. And just so you guys know, I'm going to be hosting live chats after watching the first season again. So if we like hanging out, if we like these Thursday night hangouts, I don't think I'm ready to let them go. So head over to my Patreon. I think we might be doing a movie club, but definitely going to be rewatching season 1. So thank you to Hax. Everyone go sub to him, and thank you for all the comments and contributions and everything. Let's go do this finale, and I'll have a post up on my Patreon where all of you guys can comment. It's free to join, free to comment. So we'll have a live discussion on Patreon of what goes on.
Heck yeah. Thank you so much for having me. Right. It's a blast. And
let's do this again sometime.
Absolutely. Look forward to it.
All right. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone. And thank you to people we had Dave who skipped work to join the live stream. Cass is up at 2 a.m. So this is such an amazing community and I appreciate you all so much. Hang in there. All right, Groucho, avoid spoilers, all that. Next Thursday, guest appearance by Miscellaneous Grace. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get her out here to discuss season 1. All right, well, I hope may the force be with you. Hang in there, and that may all of our favorite characters stay alive.
Fingers crossed.
All right, bye guys. Thank you.
Bye everybody.
Bye. Kisses, hugs. Don't get severed. Whatever you do, don't get severed. All right. Bye, guys.